Hello friends, welcome. So welcome to the interaction. It's a technical interaction daily 7:30. We are starting Indian Standard Time. We are starting about our tutorials, technical discussions, and all the updates. I will give you whatever the tutorials we have added and what we are going to add it, and you can ask me any questions here or below the tutorial. So your feedback is important to us. So please tell your friends also to join. And before we start today, some one or two important updates are there, and what you have continued yesterday about bootstrap check buttons, that's what we will continue again further. We'll move ahead, and in this time we will be yesterday also I have given you an introduction how to integrate database to that. So in a real life situation, data will come from the database, because it's not that we statically say 4 check buttons we will prepare and give it, but real life situation we don't know how many students status we have to update. So data can be 50 or 45 based on certain conditions, say all the students of this particular year, this particular class, and all you said it, this will be filtered and dynamically the data will come. So we are not sure how many check buttons will be there. So dynamically check buttons, it is not only the check buttons, even if many of the widgets we have to, or even the rows of data also keeps on varying, changing. So dynamically we have to give, there cannot be a static or a fixed number of rows and data anytime. So data source can be Excel, CSV, SQLite, MySQL, anything can be, it can be. So you should be prepared to handle any type of data, and your system, just by changing the source with a little effort, you can display the data. So that is what the intention was, and yesterday we discussed about that. Let us just spend some time, just a little time, to see how the source code you can download it, so you can try it in your system. Yesterday also we had discussed. Today important announcement is that the video tutorial is we have added now. Just half an hour back we have added it. You can try that. Let me just take you to our blog. Here is that blog post. The URL is there in the description. You can, this is the first, you can see the video where this you can click and see the part 1 of it, where up to the database integration we discussed. So here you can see there are 4 parts, in fact. Part 1 and part 2 combinedly in this video we have covered it. So part 2 is integrating to SQLite database. In the part 3, I will just give you an introduction to today, where you can, by using a single button, you can update all the check buttons. So you can select all or deselect all, that functionality you can add, because there may be a situation you want to start afresh, you want to uncheck all the data and go, and one by one you want to update based on some other condition. So that there it will be useful. Then also in the another 4th part we will see how you use a MySQL database in place of SQLite. This is not only for this application, any application you can just switch over to, easily you can switch over, provided if you are using SQL or where the database engine and all engine is common in both cases. If you are using SQLite 3 for connecting, then in that case you can't shift to MySQL. That is the reason why we prefer always SQL. So it is not that you try to always switch over database. Rarely we should change the database. We stuck to one database. Language also may change, but database remains same. But it is for a wider audience, those who are working in a MySQL or those who are working in SQL. Both can, it will be useful for both. That is why we are using SQL. Now this is the one. Let's just yesterday we had discussed about SQLite. So the 3rd and 4th, you can move to any part of it. Click up, then you can come down 4th. So here it is, using instead of SQLite, that is also there, and both cases the SQL dump is already available. So in a MySQL the complete script is there, so it will create the database with some sample data. And so in SQLite, in MySQL you got the SQL dump here. Create the table based on this 4 sample data are there. You create the table, then below that the only change here will be the connection part, because you have to use your user ID and password, username, password, you enter it, and the script is same for SQLite or MySQL. Now Friends, that's the main idea of it, and I hope you will be enjoying the tutorials and all. So, you can watch this, but read this blog post entirely, be ready, and probably tomorrow we'll shift to another widget. So, we'll go to another widget and run it. Before we close the daily, we are coming here for 10 minutes. I am giving you introduction to that. So, just let's see that how the select all or deselect all works in our application. So, that is the third part of it in the blog post. So, that we will see. Let me just come to Visual Studio. Here is the code. So, you can just see this is the old code, or means database SQLite database connection. We are right now we are with SQLite. Now, here you just see this is the one. I have a check all option here. Let's just run it once and see. Hopefully tomorrow I will able to update the tutorial. So, here you see the button, extra one button, check all and uncheck all. This calls the function actually. So, let's do that now. Check all. So, if I'll click this, it checks all the thing, and this button also is now checked. Now, uncheck all. So, it removes all, change the status of all the buttons to uncheck. Hopefully, you are able to see this. Yeah. So, after this I can individually I can check anything whatever I want, and I can whatever I want I can do it, but I can again uncheck all. I can sorry, now it is check all. So, I checked it, uncheck all. So, this is a extra function actually. When this button is clicked, you can see the code here, toggle all check bar get. So, it reads the check all variable is check all variable. Here it is check all variable. This is a boolean, true or false. It can take it based on this value we are updating. Now, where is the function? Function is toggle all. Now, the function is toggle all. You can just go move up. For now, let me just toggle all at the top. It will be here. Here is the function which does all this. Update today student said status is equal to status. Now, status is status. This status is what the value we based on the that common button is there, that status we are reading, that we are passing it. And here also you just see the separately we are passing the data. Query is separate. Here is this is called the placeholder. This directly we can use it, but we are not using it. Reason is this is the better way of writing the query, because this way will prevent the injection attack, because query is up to this is the query and this is the data. So, we are separately sending to the database, telling the database, hey, note that this is the query, this is the data. Why we are separately? Because to prevent the injection attack. What is the injection attack? We are every time we are discussing this, because data is not in our hand. So, data can come from various sources. User may type it, it may come from a API call, or it may come from an external source also. It can. So, data can be changed. Data can be a malicious code. Intentionally, I will inject a code here that this code goes there. So, once it enters, okay, some other day we will discuss how can I expose all the passwords. I can delete the table also. That is the reason, because that will become a part of the query. So, what we are going to do here is we are telling that data is separate query. This is the query. This data whatever it comes, don't execute it like a query. Use this data for this query. This data is a separate entity, not a part of the query. You can replace the data at the database end. So, that is the way we prevent the injection attack. It is not only for this SQLite database, it is for across all the database. So, this is a precaution we must take it to handle the data when we are sending it to any database. Rather, I will say placeholder and separately using data is we must do. So, that is what we update it, then we commit the data, then we update. So, based on if it is true we make it false, if it is false we make it true. So, that is the way it works. Now, let us just come back. That is the we have. Let us run it once more. We will see that based on that. So, okay. Now, these are all are unchecked. Now, check all. So, all are checked. Uncheck all are unchecked. So, that is how it works it. So, let me just close this, come back to let's sorry. Let us fine. Let me just come back to that's Pratistha Singh. Okay, Namaste Pratistha. Okay, the name is slightly changed. Fine. Namaste. Please tell your friend. Okay, 10 minutes. We have connected, discussed about this. This entire link is there in the description. This particular check button, bootstrap check button, how you will integrate with the database and all. This entirely it is there. Just study this. And if you are facing any issue, doubt, suggestion, ideas or questions, anything is there, let me know in the comment section. And the tutorial, please watch that tutorial. That tutorial is about 13 to 14-second duration, 14-minute duration, little longer, but in detail I explained there. So you watch that tutorial. The part 2, within a day or two I will add that. So in that you will see this, select all whatever the demo I have shown you. So part 2 will continue with that. Now friends, that's all. We'll close the session today. For today, if you don't have any other questions and all, hope you will join me tomorrow at 7:30, and please tell your friends also to join, so we can have a useful discussion. And please hit the like button also. Subscribe to our channel. So regularly we are coming at 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So discussing about all the tutorials or whatever new tutorials added and what's our plan for adding. You can, your suggestion, feedbacks, all you are always welcome to give it that. So friends, that's all for today. You don't have any questions, then we'll end up today, and we'll work on the tutorial. So hope you are reading the blog and videos also, so you can get the entire source code, work on it, modify it, improve it further, modify as per your requirement. If you need any help or anything, just put it in the comment section. Any idea if you have, put it in the comment section. We'll discuss that, and with a request that please join us tomorrow also, 7:30 Indian Standard Time, in the evening hours I come online. So that's all. If nothing more is there, we'll close the session for today. Thank you friends. Thank you for watching. Please join us tomorrow also.